Welcome to the making of a DM. How I turned my cash business into a cash flow business. More importantly, tripled my profits. And with that said, let's get started.
I'm more Kevin's deal. I'm more Kevin's deal. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question more Kevin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evan, DM. Welcome to the making of a DM podcast show. I'm sitting here in the treehouse looking around. It's fall. It looks it's my favorite time of the year. It's beautiful right now. Today's show is going to be epic. I'm excited for 5 years from now as I'm recording the show to you. In 5 years from now, I'm going to have people messaging me saying that they took this information and they were able to generate millions and millions and millions of dollars. More importantly, they were able to generate opportunities that has been in front of them this entire time to help them scale their business, generate more revenue, spend more time with their family, get more products, grow the company, sell the company maybe even. And what I'm about to share with you is a treasure of opportunity. Before I do so, I want to say thank you so much for being here at the Making of a DM. I'm recording here on my little handheld podcast audio piece that I use. I've been using it forever. It helps the audio sound amazing, in my opinion. And it's just easy. I like easy. And for everyone, thank you so much that has been leaving 5-star reviews over on all the podcast platforms. It's absolutely amazing. Like I said, I read these things often. If I'm having a bad day or good day or anytime, I'm looking for gratitude. I just get on there and see all the amazing comments. As I'm talking to you today, I want to share something with you. What I'm about to share with you can change a lot of things in your life, financially, on a monthly consistent basis, daily consistent basis. But most importantly, when you decide to sell your company, this will help you sell your company for way, way, way more money. And what I'm talking about is how I turned my cash business into my cash flow business, and it literally tripled, maybe even more, my company very quickly. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but hear me out, please. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care if you're selling hot dogs. I don't care if you're selling steaks. I don't care if you're selling socks. I don't care if you're selling real estate. I don't care if you're selling HVAC or window cleaning. It does not matter. Today's show is definitely a game changer for the people that capture what I'm saying, more importantly, implement it and execute it in their business. So what I want to talk to you about is the reason I love cash flow. Everyone's like, cash is king. Well, sort of. The real king is cash flow. See, athletes go broke when they make a lot of cash and then it goes away because the money stops coming in monthly, daily, weekly, right? Hourly, depending. And then also lottery winners, right? You got the lottery winners. They win all this money, $100 million, and then they're broke 2.5, 3, 5 years later. It's not because they don't have money. They don't have cash. They just don't have cash flow. And I always ask, like, would you rather have $10 million today, or would you rather have $100,000 a month for the rest of your life, right? A lot of people are like, dude, I'll take the 10 million and I'll make blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Let's turn that thinking cap on because you don't have 10 million, nor do you have the 100,000 yet. It's just kind of a thought. But what I'm trying to do is put you in the mindset of how I'm thinking, how my buddies are thinking, how I wish I used to think a long time ago because I'd made a hell of a lot more money. But I started thinking in cash flow terms. I am kind of jaded a little bit in a good way that I've got into the cash flow business at 18 years old. It's called real estate investing. That's why real estate investing is so cool to the majority of the world, because they can generate monthly residual cash flow on a consistent basis. Ideally on paper, it's what it looks like. But let's say I could make $500 a month on average with debt and all these things. But let's say each asset that I would buy on a single family space would make me $500 a month. And out of that $500 a month, I net that, but I want to make 10 grand a month. So I got to flip my head. Okay, $500 a month times 20 equals 10. So I need to buy 20 houses. The average house is 100 grand. Now I need to raise $2 million or finance $2 million or somewhere around there. Owner finance a little bit, whatever. Again, I need to get $2 million in assets producing 10 grand a month. That'd be the simple answer, right? I'm not in the game of life to only make 10 grand a month. That's where we start though. We got to make 1,000 a month to get to 10,000 a month, to get to 20,000 a month, to get to 50,000 a month and beyond, way beyond. So I want to share with you here how my mind thinks. And I hope this helps you a ton. I was sharing this with I have a $1,000 month group. It's called the DM Alliance. That one group generates around $1 million plus a year in the first year. Think about that. See, I'm sharing real stuff with you because I want to help you. I'm not trying to, peacock or front, but I want to share with you real shit that's going to help you make more money. And I'm going to share my stuff, not what I think could happen, but what I've done, what I know people are doing. Most importantly, if you take this, you can do it as well. So it's not theory, it's real. So I have, say, 100 members paying $1,000 a month. That's $100,000 a month. You might be thinking like, dude, I would never pay you $1,000 a month. Okay, well, that's you, not the other 100 people. See, one thing I realized early in life, I'm not for everybody. I'm for somebody. And let me understand the mindset behind this. They're getting a steal for $1,000 a month. See, when I came into this, I was thinking, how do I give $100,000 a month in value or more for $1,000? See, you're looking at price. My people are looking at value. They retain in there long term. We have people that been in there since I started this year and will stay there forever, I hope. That's my goal because I want to help them. We're always evolving, all of us. But think about this. Every day I wake up, I want to bring $100,000 of value to you for $1,000. It's a great opportunity for both of us. We both win because it's not like you are a number to me. I know every single person in that group. I want to see them succeed. I get excited when they have a new baby. I get excited when they grow their company. I get excited when they sell a company. I get excited when they're making new moves in their industry and pivoting and adding to their bottom line, etc. And I get excited to help them solve problems. But we were talking about this thing because we all work so hard. My window cleaning guy here charges me $800 to clean my windows here in Ohio. I like to have my windows cleaned once a quarter, at least. If I'm having a party, I want to clean them. If we have a bad weather, and they're crappy looking, I want to clean them. Why? I like to look out a window that's nice and clean. That's just me. Yes, I could clean my own windows if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So I used to. But for $800, they'll come over for a day and they'll clean the windows and they'll look absolutely amazing. The problem with this is my assistant has to call him. We have to schedule it. He has to come over. We have to pay him and blah, 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 which we want to pay him. I wish, let's call it $3,600 a year just to make for easy math. I wish he would just charge me $300 a month and come once a quarter and just set it up and put me in the schedule and just churn and burn. And then if I have a special event, my assistant could call him and then he could come early and we could either forfeit the one in the future or whatever, or pay for another one. Think about this. This window washer sitting at home right now as I speak to you potentially, and he's trying to think, man, I need to make some money. I want to get rich. I want to make money. But everything he does is transactional. If you truly want to get massively wealthy, I prefer the relationship side of the business, not the transactional side. Hear me out. When I switched to continuity, to residual business models, it forced me to become deeper relationship driven because I have to keep performing at a high level to keep you ingrained in the system to help you, to help us, to help you, to help us. It's very heavy on relationships. We can grow together. I like that model way better than, hey man, give me 10,000, good luck, right? Yes, I'll provide the goods and all that, but now it's all on your shoulders. There's no accountability. There's no coming to me if you need help. It's just pay it and move on. Next. Customer number 2,343. Next. Instead, now it's like very personable. I get to grow with you. I get to see you evolve as a human being in life and in business. It's my favorite thing to see and do. So think about this window washer for a minute. If he simply would charge me $300 a month and queue it up, it'd make my life easier. His life would get easier. And he could do it unlimited amounts of time, which would give him consistency. I don't know about you, but what kind of business you're in. But when I was in just a straight cash business of just making money, we'd have huge ups and huge downs, huge ups and huge downs, huge up, and then massive down, right? Because you're playing catch up. But when I created the residual model businesses inside of that, and I'm not saying you can't run these businesses in tandem. You could still go generate cash, but also be conscious of cash flow, creating cash flow in every conversation I'm having. Hey, Miss Nancy, you love your windows washed. Did you know I offer a service for $200, $300 a month? I could come out here once a quarter, take care of this, take this off your plate. You'd have the most beautiful windows in town, and I can get you inked up today. You could put it on your credit card and process every single day, every single month on the 1st, 15th. You tell me when you want to process, and we'll make it happen. Not only that, in 2 months or 3 months, would you like to see me 4 times a year or 6 times a year? Right? Have packages. And then now all of a sudden, now you got 30 people paying you $200 to $300 a month. Let's call it $7,000 a month. That's an $84,000 cash flow business. But most importantly, the relationships that you're building inside of that. You have 30 people's houses you're going to once a quarter, connecting with them. You have additional services. Hey, did you know I could put Rain-X on the exterior of the windows? Hey, I see your window sashes are a little dry rotted. I'd like to get my contractor out here to give you a bid and see if they can get over here and help make your window better. Because if not, you probably have another year or two, and then you're going to have to replace the entire window. But they could probably get some paint on that ASAP and solve it, and you don't have to replace it for the next 10 or 15 years. Preventative maintenance. You're their eyes and ears. You become a person of value. You're not just a fucking window washer anymore. You're way more than that anyways. But we put ourselves in these little molds like, oh, I'm a window washer. Dude, you're way more than a window washer. I used to say the same shit. I'm a real estate investor. I'm way more than a real estate investor. I'm a business owner. I care about people. I want to help you become financially free. I want to help the seller that's having trouble right now. I have a situation with a seller right now from my mother-in-law. Her best friend's really sick, 51-year-old lady, massively sick, got a divorce. Her husband left her, didn't pay the payment on the house. She's getting ready to lose her house to foreclosure on December 9th, and I can help her. I don't care about how much I'll make. I'll make money, but I don't care about that. I more care about, it's my mother-in-law's friend. I want to help her. I don't work for free, nor do they. No one does, and nor should it be expected, right? You talk about, hey, I'm a professional business. Here's what we do. Here's how we do it. But I have a skill that I can help her. Just having a conversation with her relaxes her. When you're sick, as you know, stress is a massive problem. When you're sick, it just makes it worse. But I'm able to help her out now. And we're going to solve her problem. She's going to get some money to go move into a nice apartment. She can relax. She can have a little bit of capital in the bank. She can have her rent paid for a year, and she can still get this off of her books. So she doesn't have to go bankrupt. This will write off of, she'll just short sell and move on. We're way more than a real estate investor. We're way more than an HVAC person. We're way more than a window washer. We're way more than a restaurateur. You're a creative. You're a caring, loving person. You're a dad, a mom, a sister, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a son, a daughter. So when they're at your house every quarter, they can bring more value. And then when they do that, guess what? They have a list now. Now they have an HVAC guy, a roofing guy, a painting guy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything to do with the house, interior and exterior. Hey, Nancy, I'm in your house. I see your carpet got ruined because you had a leak in your roof. I know, I can't find any roofers or carpet people. Huh? Well, I know some. Here's 2 numbers. Give them a call. Tell them Steve Johnson had you give them a shout and let me know. You can become a person of value now to your colleagues, people you do business with. They refer you business, you refer them business. You can make money doing that. Think about that. Like I picture every customer we work with, like my dad, my mom, my uncle, my cousin, my grandpa, my grandma. I want to I care about you. And if I see something, even if it costs money, I'm going to tell you, you don't have to do it. But I'm going to let you know, hey, you might want to have some preventative, check this out. Hey, I was driving down your driveway, hit 3 big potholes. You know, if you don't solve these potholes in the next, real soon, because winter's coming here in Ohio, well, you're going to have to replace this whole damn driveway. Do you want to spend $1,000 or do you want to spend $12,000? It's a choice. You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you because I care about you, Nancy. Think about that, what that does to your day. What does that do to your day? It's not like, oh, I got to go wash some windows today. Another day, another dollar. No, it's so much more than that. Another person, another connection, another relationship, not just with the client, but also with your colleagues, with people that are looking for business. There's roofers, there's driveway guys, there's painters, there's carpet cleaners. All these people are sitting at their office right now trying to figure out how to get more business. They're talking to marketing firms. They're hiring people. They're talking to the sales team. We need more sales. You could be the best salesperson for them. Hey, Steve, if I get you a job, just give me 10% of whatever you charge. You're going to know if they do it because you're going to go back there every quarter. Hey, Nancy, I see your garage door needs a little bit of elbow grease on it. You know, I know All-American Garage Door Company. That used to be my company, by the way. All-American Garage Door Company can come over here. They can either fix it or do preventive maintenance plan with them at $39 a month. And they'll grease your wheels once a quarter. They'll check your springs, make sure you don't get stuck in there in the garage or the garage door doesn't fall in the car. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Preventative maintenance. If you think about this, you do this with your cell phone bill. You do this with your insurance, car and health and house. You do this with your cable bills. You do this with your electric, your water, your gas. You pay monthly cash flow. They've never came to you and said, pay me $10,000 and you don't pay for gas. No, they want that $100 a month for life. Pay attention. See, I never understood this I understood it on a real estate level, but I never understood it in a business level. I had a course back in the day I started selling in 2005. I was selling a $1,000 course. And I was literally for 252 weeks in a row, I did a live presentation helping people for free. If they bought the course for $1,000, I helped them. Show-up rate was terrible. It was inconsistent. We had huge ups and huge downs in revenue, right? Because show-up rate would be big if I sold a lot this week, and then the next week it would fall off. So I'd have to resell more to get more on, because interaction is what creates community, and community creates growth and accountability, and it's just fun to be in a great community of people doing shit. If I look back, I would have charged $1,000 a month and then $1,000 up front or $500 up front, or just have a front end qualifier. And then I would charge them $100 a month. And then every month they come on, then they'd show up more. Because when they pay attention. See, it's easy to pay once and move on. We've all done that. Don't lie. I'm not the only one that's bought a book, bought a course, and parked it in there. Haven't even taken the cellophane off of it. It's sitting there. I'm getting ready to, though. 17 years later, I'm coming for you. That person made a sell. I paid the money, but did either one of us really benefit to the level we could have benefited? Because if they had charged me a little less, or the same even, but charged me a monthly continuity on top of it to create accountability, to have some calls that I could call and touch base with them. I pay my fiduciary monthly. I pay my lawyers monthly. I pay my staff monthly. Do you get paid monthly? This is what we're talking about. And I don't care if you're in the construction business, maintenance business, snow plowing business, construction business, book business, sock business, CD business, software business, restaurant business. This works. I'll share some stories with you. When I had All-American Garage Door Company, what I would have done different, I only went and did jobs. They said, hey, it's $1,000. Here you go. Thank you. Have a great day. If I would have just added, hey, Nancy, $1,000, but I'd like you to join the All-American Club for $29 a month. We'll have a preventative schedule set up on your plan, and we'll come out, blah, 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 whatever your schedule is. And we'll make sure, not only that, you get VIP service calls. So if your door breaks and you call in, we have a 2-hour guaranteed window. We'll be here. If you're not part of the club, we can't guarantee that. But think about it, you're selling. You do this, by the way, every electronics you buy. Would you like to add the 2-year maintenance plan on a chair? On a electronics that costs $20, I'm going to pay $12 for maintenance, right? I want you to think about this. This is big. There's book clubs, there's t-shirt clubs, there's sock clubs, there's VIP clubs. I remember a cigar bar I belonged to in Boca Raton, and I paid like $500 a year for it. I got a box in a cool room with my name on it. I went to that box once the day I got the box and opened it up just to be excited. I never used it any other time. But I always told my friends, hey, if you go in there, tell them you're with me because we got a 10% discount, right? So in my head, I rationalized it. We only have to spend $5,000 at the cigar bar to justify that $500. But as you know, when you're making these monthly or yearly commitments on a cash flow basis, you're not necessarily looking at it in a rational way at that moment. To me, it made sense. I still like it. I had it for 5 years, so I kind of liked it. I did go in there. You did get VIP experiences. You did save 10%. You got, certain cigars. They'd have, like VIP, like come in and hang out with the cigar rollers and all that. So there's some cool little benefits you can do as well. There's a restaurant club that I'm aware of. In what they do, they have like a golden knife club or something like that, carnivore club or whatever. You pay $1,000 a year. It's a high-end restaurant. But when you book a reservation, not only do you get a discount on the food on the reservation, but they also have your name on silverware. So when you show up, they have the table of 4 with Evans on the silverware. Think about that. A restaurant. You say there's no fucking way a restaurant could pull. Yes, it's high-end restaurant style. You could do this anywhere. Hey, you don't have to have a reservation if you're part of the club. What if you had, and by the way, they have many hundreds of people, let's say 500 people paying $1,000 a year for this value. Think about this. What it also does, it increases them coming into your facility because they like the experience. They have a friend in town. They want to show off. So they come in, Evans, party of 4. Come over to the VIP section, Mr. Evans. Here you go. And you sit down with your friends, and they look down and they're like, holy shit, this has your name on it, dude. Do you own this restaurant? It's like, no, this is a VIP club. So it sells itself. Think about it. This is who we are. This is what we do. You got to be thinking on how to create residual cash flow. I have multiple things that create millions of dollars a year. And I always say, if I don't work, it still comes in. The truth is you got to still work. You just have to work differently. I don't have to wake up to make money today. Money's already been made, and I'll make more tomorrow, and so forth. But I have to wake up to bring value. I have to wake up to bring the heat, if you will. I have to wake up to bring the experiences. I'm waking up and talking with my staff saying, how do we create this amazing experience or create this badass gift to give to people in our community that's paying every single month and enjoy the results? What are you doing? What could you do in your business? HVAC, roofing, siding. Maybe you're great at SOPs, systems, operations, and procedure manuals. You could sell that on a monthly retainer. Say if you're really good at doing it for CPA firms, CPA firms that have 5 to 25 accountants on their staff or bookkeepers, I'm going to give you the best SOPs to utilize to grow your organization without all the headaches. What is that worth? Could be worth a lot. Maybe you have a software. Maybe you're a concrete guy. Maybe you're installing. You do excavating, and there's a cool excavating software CRM management that you've discovered and or created, and use in your business, and it's helped you make your life easier, makes you more money, gets you more jobs, makes more profit for you, etc., you could sell that as a package for $3,000 down, $200 a month, $200 per user, or whatever. I mean, it's endless, but it's all driven off of value. See, a lot of people are out there, like if you look at all software companies, why do you think Netflix is ginormous? Why do you think Google, like all these Apple TV and Disney Plus, all that, like literally they make billions of dollars at $7 a month. Now, I'm not saying we have that kind of market share that big, but we have a way different value, way different product too. So we can charge a premium. And not everyone has the confidence to charge $1,000 a month. I do, because I know I'm bringing way more than $1,000 a month, way more than $100,000 a month in value if they implement it. What's cool is the testimonials are fucking off the hook. Plus, I have another group. They pay over $4,000 a month, right? That's a $50,000 a year package. Think about this. You're out here busting your tail trying to figure out how to make 10 grand on a job. And I'm not saying you can't do these in tandem, like I said earlier, but what maintenance can you add to the product? What user experience can you put into your business to charge monthly or quarterly or a yearly fee? It anchors them into your brand. It gets people wanting to use your brand more. Software, SOP services, bookkeeping, accounting firms, restaurateurs, snow plowing. Here in Ohio, right? 3 to 6 months, there's snow. So what do? Because I tell you right now, if you don't have a contract with the company and it dumps snow overnight, you're not getting out of your driveway unless you plow it yourself. You have to have a contract with them. They're going to charge you a monthly fee if it snows or doesn't snow. That's how it works. You know, all those big malls and all those shopping centers, that's all contract driven. If you belong to any HOAs, you know, that's all contract driven. You're paying $1 million a year for landscaping and lawn care and snow removal. They're paying $83,000 a month, right? And there's going to be add-ons on top of that. But that's just going to get you to make sure I show up every day. I have 7 guys on staff on the property to make sure this thing looks fucking amazing. It takes money. But it also takes wherewithal to think, how do I provide great value? I wish my landscaper would do this with me. I wish he would do a monthly program with me. Because for 3 or 4 months a year, it's very limited, like, why not just charge me $3,000, $4,000 a month or whatever over 12 months? Every month he gets a check, or a wire, I should say, ACH, instead of very rough quarter. Last Q4 in Ohio is really rough, Mark. Q1's kind of tough. Well, what if you spread your risk to your clients and then to yourself? And instead of having huge upswings in the summer and terrible in the winter, why not just have the same every single month? $200,000 a month coming in like clockwork. Because we're not thinking like that. Dude, I did a service. It's $8,000. That's what you got to pay. Okay. But you've worked with me for 12 years. You've been at my house every single day, every week, mowing the lawn. You're pruning the trees. You're planting the flowers. We already have a budget of what it costs. Let's just throw it into a monthly and just charge you, hit my account every month. That's what I'd rather do. I can budget accordingly. My teams can, my accountant can, they can. As a business owner, you'll increase your profits drastically. See, another thing too, it allows you to hire better people because you have consistent money coming in. It's not one, because right, when you need to hire someone is usually when you're having a downturn or a real high upturn, like where it's just shooting straight up. But then you're thinking, well, shit, next week's going to be really bad. And then when it's really bad, you're like, shit, it's going to get really good. So I got to hire now, but I'm kind of scared because I don't have that much money coming in, but it's going to get really good. It goes up and down, up and down. That's an entrepreneur journey you don't want to be on forever. It's very taxing. I did it for years. Think about this. What can you add in your business to create monthly continuity? What if you have 4 staff members and it costs you 20 grand a month for these 4 staff members. What if you could, and it creates a lot of stress, because if you're like me as a business owner, I care genuinely. If I hire you, it's a big fucking responsibility. I take it very serious. I'm not just hiring people just to hire people. I'm hiring people because it's a big responsibility. It's something I take serious. I'm not saying you don't, but I know a lot of people, it's like, oh, they're just an employee, whatever. No, you're a team member, dude. We're growing something together. I care about you. I want you to care about me. More importantly, I want us to care about the client. So if we're fighting back and forth, we're taking all that energy away from the client, away from the purpose, away from the future. So let's get on the same page today, right? But picture if you could just take that off your plate. Every single month you knew there was 20 grand a month coming in. What kind of weight would that lift off your shoulders? Knowing that your team is taken care of, and anything above that and beyond is profit to the bottom line of the company. Be a big deal. I 3x'd my profits and beyond with this model. When you sell a book, you don't have to sell a book for massive amounts of money. Obviously, there's not that much money in books. I give all the money to charity, by the way, in our books, but you could also have a monthly continuity, a book a month club. Instead of paying $27 for the book, every month for $15, I'm going to send you a book. So they double their value because the book is almost $30. They're only paying $15. But what you're doing is creating community. By the way, I'm going to have a private Facebook group. You can ask your questions. Like, it could be mentoring. It could. There's a guy. There's a bunch of these out there now, right? Butcher Box. Like, you can have meat delivered to your door every fucking month for X amount of dollars. I do it with food. Trifecta meals. I spend like $300 a week. Every week, every Thursday, they're at my doorstep. $300, $300, $300, $300. Do you know what this does to your multiplier when you go to exit, by the way? So picture this. You're getting ready to sell your company. Would you rather buy a company that makes $10 million a year, but it's like 1 million, 300,000, 1.2 million, oh shit, 50,000, boom, 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 boom? Or would you rather have a company that has like a steady line across? This is your residual business. I make $5 million a year residually, comes in every single month like clockwork. Here's the attrition rate. Here's the client value, blah, 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 blah. And then you have the other stuff in between that to make the other 5. That $5 million residual line will get you a 10x multiplier. And then the other semi-predictable, but not as predictable as monthly continuity, you might get a 4x. Right? So now all of a sudden, your business just become worth so much more because, and clients get a better experience, you get a better experience, and the buyer pays you more money and they'll make more money. It's a win-win-win. I recommend everyone do this in some way, shape, or form. Start asking yourself, I don't care what you even sell or do. This is mandatory to be thinking about how to charge something for monthly. But don't think about just the price. Think about the return of value, like the return they're going to get on the value you're going to provide them. Like I said, mine's $1,000 a month, and I have another one almost $5,000 a month. They both work amazingly well. They both have different benefits but they keep coming back. I have the people in the $50,000 a year program that's been there almost 8 years. March will be 8 years. Think about that. Why are they staying around if it's so much money? Well, it's not a lot of money if you're just looking at dollars, it seems like a lot. But if you're looking at the value and extraction, what they get from it, it's massive. And like I said, the biggest thing that forced me to focus on value and relationships, not transactions. Transactions, that's how I started. I just cared to make fucking money. I just want to make money, straight up. But when I really started getting smart and mature in business, I understood the value of long-term relationships. I understood the value in my value. See, you're not just a window washer. You're not just a siding guy. You're not just a roofer. You're not just a restaurateur. You're not just a landscaping guy. You're so much more. You got to understand, you're showing up on a property, if you're in that field, every single week. Or if you're on the roofing and you're bidding projects, you could come down to the person and say, hey, I know I'm here for your roof, but I don't know if you know this, but 3 of your gutters are clogged. I don't really do that, but we have a program. It's $125 a quarter or $33 a month or whatever you charge. And they'll come out here and clean this 4 times a year for you. And the reason that's important is because as a preventative maintenance, if your gutters get clogged, it rolls back into your roof. It ruins your roof. It ruins your fascia. It ruins your soffit. Could even potentially ruin your foundation. And then we're talking tens of thousands of dollars of damage. And the problem with that is it's always too late before you recognize it because water takes a long time to like penetrate. But I'm starting to see some penetration. I see the gutters are clogged. Like they're like, dude, tell me who to call now. I want this fixed. And then you make a sell. But it's not a sell like a hard sell. It's like a genuine, like, if you do not do this, this is going to happen. Right? How do you think these companies that do 5-minute oil changes make money? They don't make money on oil changes. You know that, right? They make money on their ancillary products that they offer you there. Hey, you want to top off your windshield washer fluid? It's only $7. Keep in mind, they paid $1 for the windshield washer fluid. There's nothing wrong with this, by the way. This is great marketing and great business practices because your cheap ass is only paying $20 to get the oil change anyways. That's like what it probably cost them to buy the product. Plus they got staff, plus they got rent, plus they got taxes, insurance, workers' comp, and everything else, right? So, and marketing to get people there. But then windshield wipers, antifreeze, brake fluid, tire pressure checks, blah, blah, blah. It's a nice menu of stuff. And you're in control. But you only went there for an oil change for $20 and you're leaving paying $78. Is that good or bad? Well, depends how you look at it. I think it's amazing. Why? Because I like to be proactive. I like to be preventative. Because it won't be good when you leave your ass down the street and you break down or overheat on the freeway with your 2 kids in the back seat in 92-degree weather when you're late to an appointment because you didn't want to spend the $7 to put extra antifreeze in your car when they asked you to. These are the things you got to understand. There's a business process to all this. I hope this information is starting like, aha. I don't care if you're a dentist. I don't care if you're a chiropractor. By the way, my chiropractor, I went to him. I'm like, dude, I want to pay for like, I think I paid for like 60 sessions. Actually, that's a lie. The first time I paid for 16 sessions and they expired. I only used like 9 of them. So in essence, I almost paid double what I should have. So I went back to him. I was like, dude, I want to buy 60 sessions, but I don't want them ever to expire. It was like a big deal. They've never had a client do that because they always expire. Because I'm like, dude, it doesn't cost you anything to have me in this. You're already paying for the rent. You're already paying for your team to be here. I'm going to add on the schedule. I'm not taking anybody's time. Like this, it's not like you have people standing out the door every day, right? Put me in where I fit in and let me just fill the calendar with what my needs are. And they did it. Sometimes they don't even know they can do it, right? So that's a chiropractor. What are you offering your clients? Maybe you have like I said, like a software. Maybe you're like, this happened to me in my lending business. So I did a lot of real estate. I never realized I could be a lender as well while I'm doing my own real estate deals. So I started doing lending, created massive amounts of cash flow for me. Return on my money. Plus there was a club I had. It was called the Silver Platter Club. The only way you could borrow my money is if you pay $2,500 a year, $200 and change a month. That's the only way you'd get my attention. Because if you're not vested, why should I be vested? It's only $2,500. Keep in mind, you're borrowing $500,000 at a pop, right? So why that? It was just a separator in business. And I had lots of people pay it. And I made lots of loans and still made lots of income. See, the thing is the restaurant, for example, the $1,000 a year or whatever they charge, that's just a separator. That's like, haha, I'm part of that club. This is why you belong to country clubs. This is why you belong to yoga clubs. This is why you belong to Peloton and all this shit. It's a monthly continuity. By the way, Peloton makes their money on the monthly, not the bike. The bike is the ends to the mean. The mean is they want your monthly money. You know that, right? So at the restaurant, when you're sitting there and you got your people there, you're actually advertising for them. It feels good. It feels cool. You're VIP. You got your fucking name on the silverware. It's a pretty cool feeling, right? Or you got your glass, you got your bottle of champagne or your bottle of wine, Or in the case of the cigar bar, I got my cigars and I got my other stuff in there. And I want to show people I'm a member. I belong. But it increases activity to the room. Instead of coming twice a month, you might come 3 times a month, 4 times a month. And this, my friend, is how you 3x your income, 3x your business, because you're going to increase business and interaction with your prospects because it's set up on a consistent basis. Think about what this does to scheduling too. If you're running any kind of like window washing and all that stuff, you can pre-plan your schedule. And we all know they're all discombobulated. They're all like like their schedule's on a piece of paper that spilled coffee already at 7 a.m. getting Dunkin' Donuts, and they've already messed up their day. You could actually professionalize your business, hire better people to make your business better, to make you more money. Why? Because you have monthly continuity coming in. Cash flow will set you free. Cash will pay the bills. Cash will make you money. But cash flow will set you free. Cash flow will give you confidence. Cash flow will allow you to make moves that you never even thought were possible. My friend, today's the day. Change it. Let me know what you're doing in your business to create monthly continuity. I'm very interested. I'd love to hear what you got going on. What kind of business you have, what you're doing, what kind of residual you do, what's your percentage of residual to cash business, right? Because it might be 50-50, 80-20, 10-90, whatever. Let me know. If I can help you, I will. I'm serious about this. It's your time. Let's get this cash flow kicking in. I would love nothing more than a year to 3 years to 5 years from now, you message me and say, Mark, I listened to podcast, boom, I'm making $180,000 extra a month because of that one show that was free. Are you going to take action? Or are you going to sit here and watch everyone else crush it? It's a choice. Just like it is when that roofer's telling you to get your gutters fixed and you don't because you're trying to save fucking $72. But now it's going to cost you $10,000 in the future. Be smart, be proactive, and let's get to work. So with that said, make today count.
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. Did not come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. They should have held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss. I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose. Yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm Mark Evans DM. Deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, DM project.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.